Hi everyone and welcome in that second part of the tutorial focus on Zelda, how to make a Zelda-like game. Today we're gonna see how to create a background as well as creating an enemy that can move randomly and that will push back our player. So let's get started. So the first things we're gonna do is that we're gonna create a new scene, and I'm gonna also close all of this. This was my my little test. So basically we're gonna create this and I'm gonna show you how to create it. Okay, so don't save. So we're gonna create a new scene by clicking the plus icon just right here, and then we're gonna click on the plus icon right here, and we're gonna choose for node. We are not gonna use a node 2D, but just a normal node. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna add a sprite. We're gonna use a sprite, this one, create. And now I'm gonna import just a sprite sheet. So I will put the sprite sheet in the description box below. I'm gonna go for this one, overworld. I'm gonna drag it until texture, and then I have this that appears. Okay, so I need to do two things. I need first to go on offset and untick centered, and then I need to go to region and turn on enabled, and so like this everything here disappear, and that's normal. So now we go to the bottom of the screen and we click on texture region, and here we have our sprite sheet that appears. We're gonna go on snap mode, click on none, and then we're gonna go on grid snap and click, and then it's turn on the grid. So now we go on step and we just change the number by 16 by 16. Oh fuck. Voila. And now you can pick whatever you want in that spreadsheet. Me, I'm gonna go very simple today. We will like make it more complex as more and more how to say that, as far as we are advancing in the tutorial, I will say. I don't know. Okay, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna select that part, and you can see here, if I zoom, that we have that part of the spreadsheet that appears. So now what I'm gonna do is like this. I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna call it tile grass, and this I'm gonna call it 1. And so now I'm gonna select this. Here I'm gonna go on view, and I'm gonna click always show grid, and I'm gonna also turn on the snap. So like that, it will snap. And so now I'm selecting this, and I tap Control D, and it's gonna duplicate it. I just push it like that, and now I'm just gonna pick here the second one, and then I'm gonna do the same. I do it like this, then I click on Control D, and I do it like this. It can be a little bit tedious, but for now this is the simplest way I found to make a tile map. I don't know if you know some other stuff. At first I was looking to create an auto tile, but for me it doesn't work. I don't know why. I can't. It doesn't work. So yeah, I just don't know. I followed the tutorial of GD Quest. I followed some other tutorial of Art Beast and stuff like that, but I don't know what's going on. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing it like this. The thing is also like for that tile, we are not gonna create collision yet. We will do it in another episode of the series. But if you want to create a collision, what you just need to do is when you are creating a sprite like this, first what you need to do is just select static body, then apply a collision shape, and then create the sprite, and then you will be able to make like a collision shape and your character will be colliding with it. So now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna save that, and I'm gonna go on scene, and I'm gonna go to convert to, and I'm gonna go and click on tile set, and here I'm gonna call it tile grass TRES. This is very important because TRES is the extension for the tile set. Okay, so now we have all of this. I'm saving and I can close it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a level actually. So I'm gonna click on plus, then 2D scene. I'm gonna call it level test. And I'm gonna now click here. I'm gonna import my player. That's right here. And I'm gonna also click on plus, click on tile map, look for tile map, sorry. Here it is. And now what I'm gonna do is just that I'm gonna go and look for my tile grass TRES. I'm gonna click on it and drag it until tile set. And now you can see here that I have my tile set that appears. I need to go to cell here on the right part of the screen and change 64 by 16 and 64 by 16. And so now I have a good grid and I can just like start to make my my level. So I'm just gonna go here. So what I'm gonna do, yes, I'm gonna do it like that. Like, why it doesn't work? Why it doesn't work? Okay, let's go. Okay, so I found out why it wasn't working. It's just because the cursor was here and not here. So you need to be sure that you have this little icon that is selected. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put it like that. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put it here. I'm just making the corner at the moment. So we're gonna do it like this, I think. And then here. Voila. Now I'm gonna do like that. That's very much better when if you have if you can make a tile map, an auto tile. But for now, I don't find the right way to make it. So it's why I just prefer to show you this way. I know it's a bit tedious, but yeah, that's for now that's the best way I've found. So yeah. I'm gonna go like that. Nah, it's not this one I want to do. Okay, like this. And finally, here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna select that, the bucket, the paint bucket, and so like this it will fill everything. And so now what I need to do is just to go to the Z index and turn into -1. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I've put the enemy. I need to delete it. Okay, so now we have our background and that's good. And so what we need to do is to create an enemy, and that enemy will move randomly in any sort of direction. It will not be an enemy that's gonna target our player at first. It's gonna be the base, just a basic enemy to create a bit of a challenge. And then on future episodes I will show you how to create on the base of the enemy we're gonna create today an enemy that can target our player. So first we need to create a new scene. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna create a kinematic body 2D. Oh fuck, kinematic body 2D, where is it? Here it is. After that we need to add collision shape 2D as well. Then we need to apply a shape, so we're gonna use a new rectangle shape. Then we need to add a sprite, normal sprite, not an animated one. Then I need to add an animation player. Voila. And then I need to add as well an area 2D. This will handle the collision and the pushback with our future with our player. and I will add a collision shape to that area. Okay, now we're good. So this is gonna be called push box or alt box, I don't know. For now we're gonna go for alt box, but maybe we're gonna change it. Okay, this we're gonna call it enemy. And here we're gonna call it anim. It will be way much easier for us. Okay, so now the first thing we need to do is we need to go to sprite, and we need to actually import some sprite for our enemy. So I have it here, it's called blue slime, so I just take it and I drag it to texture. I go to offset, I untick centered, and so now what I'm gonna do is just, I'm gonna go to the collision shape, I'm gonna place it here, just gonna put that one up, voila, and so this I'm gonna just adjust it the right way, voila. Let's do it like this, just a little bit, slightly little like that. Okay, so now what I need to do is to go to animation, and so we have 1 2 3 4 5, so I need to go here and to go to 4 5, and so like this we have this. And so now we're gonna create an animation. So for creating an animation, what we need to do is to go here on anim and then click on animation right here, and we're gonna create new. It's gonna be called default because there will be only one animation for that character. And now we need to set up some keys. So we go back on sprite, and we gonna go on frame, and here you have a little key. If you watch it, you have a little key, and so you just go and you click on it and you click on create. And now what we need to do is like just zoom a little bit, and we're gonna go here, we're gonna place the blue bar here, and we're gonna on frame go to 1, and we're gonna click on the little key, and then after that you can see that automatically it does it. And so we're gonna do it like that, voila. And so normally it should be good, yeah, it is. So we're gonna make we're gonna turn that on. It's animation looping, so like that our animation will loop. And now normally we're good to go, so we just need to save. And so I'm gonna call it enemy 1 because I already have an enemy scene, so I'm gonna call it enemy 1. And so I go on anim, here on current animation I go on default, and you can see we can see the animation. We just need to make it shorter a little bit. So I'm gonna change that FPS, and I'm gonna change that to 5. And so now you can see that we have an animation that is looping good, and so everything is fine. Okay, so now what we need to do is to actually have a script. I also need to select a shape, new rectangle shape. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is for the I will do that later. So first I'm gonna create a script, and that script I'm gonna call it enemy. So click enemy, load. Okay, I've already created one. I forgot about it. So okay, I'm just gonna detach it, I'm gonna recreate it. So enemy 01 should be good. I'm just gonna put it somewhere else. Yeah, I'm gonna call it enemy 0, but you can call it enemy normally, that will be fine. Click on create, and so I'm gonna get rid of all of this, And so now for creating our script, we need a bunch of little constant and variable. We need to have a way to calculate the random trajectory of our enemy. We need to give it the possibility to inflict damage to our player. We need to make the player bounce back when it touches the enemy, and we need our enemy to detect when he collides to a wall so he's not getting stuck there. That's going to be a pretty random enemy, but it will serve as a good basis, as I've already told you. Now we need to create the first constant, and it's going to be for the speed of our enemy. So constant, and I'm going to say speed, and it's going to be equal to 70. Now we need to add a constant that will inflict damage to our player, and we're gonna set it up to 1. So it's gonna be constant damage, and it's gonna be equal to 1. Then we need to say to Godot that this character can move in all directions, and we're gonna set up a bunch of constant for that too. So it should look like this. So we're gonna say constant center, we're gonna say constant left, constant right, constant up, constant down, and so now we're just gonna say equal vector 2 is gonna be equal 0 0, and then I'm just gonna copy that. I'm gonna just put it right here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change in constant some numbers. So for constant right, what I'm gonna say is that I'm gonna say that vector 2 is equal to -1 and 0. So like that, -1 will make our character go to the left. Oh, sorry, I forgot something. Here it is. I forgot this one. So this one is good. So -1. This one gonna be 1 because 1 will make our character move to the right. Then for the constant up, we need to say it's -1. And for this, it's 1. And so basically, if I just check 0 0 -1 1 0 0 -1 0 1. Okay, then we need to implement different variable. First, we're gonna create a variable that will we're gonna call it move direction, and it will be equal to vector 2, and it's gonna be looking like this. Variable move direction equal vector 2 0 0. Okay, then we're gonna create a variable called sprite direction, and we're gonna set it up to down by default, so like that our character will face the down direction automatically when the game will be loaded. So var sprite direction is going to be equal to down. This is not for that character, that specific enemy for now, but it will be for the enemy that we're going to build up later. So I'm already putting it here. Then we're going to set up a timer length, and we're going to set it up to 30. So timer variable timer length. And we're gonna say that it's equal to 30, and then we need a variable called timer, and we're gonna set it up to 0. Okay, those two variables are very important because they are the variable that will make our character randomly move in random direction. Basically, the way it works is that when the timer will reset, the enemy will go in another direction. That's simple, but it's pretty useful. Now here I'm gonna write some of the variable that we will use later, and that I'll explain a bit later. So it's gonna be called variable push direction, and it's going to be equal to vector 2 0 0. So just a comment for me, so this gonna be for the knockback. After that we need to have variable called pushed back, and this is gonna be equal to 0. And then we need a variable called elf, and it's gonna be equal to 1. Okay. Now we can create the first function, and we're gonna call the animation. So it's gonna be called func ready, like that, and we're gonna say $anim. $anim play parenthesis default. Okay. And we're gonna call the random function that give a random direction to our player. We're gonna create that function soon. For now, we are just setting it up, and we're gonna do it by saying that move direction equal random. Okay. And so now we need to make sure that our character can bounce off things. So for that we need to set up the function physics process, and we're gonna do like this. So func physics process delta. I'm just gonna remove all this, don't need it. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna say movement, if timer is 0. So no, goddamn, I can't type today. So timer minus equal 1. If timer double equals 0 is on wall, we're gonna say that move direction is equal to random, and we're gonna say that timer equal timer length, and we're gonna say damage loop. This is something that we're gonna create as well. Okay, so basically this means that if the timer is equal to 0, it means that the character is stuck on a wall and you're gonna pick another direction. And we're gonna finish by the movement function. So yeah, so function movement, and we're gonna say var motion equal move direction dot normalized multiply by speed with 2e, move and slide motion vector 2 and 0 0. Okay, now that we have done all of that, we're gonna create a function that we're gonna call random, and this function gonna be in charge of returning the direction of our enemy. For that, we're gonna set up a variable that gonna gives a number to each direction. If the integer is 1, the enemy will go to the left. If it's 2, it will go to the right. If it's 3, it will go up. And if it's 4, it will go down. So we're gonna do it now. So function func random, we're gonna say var d is equal to random e, parenthesis, percentage of 4 plus 1, okay. And we're gonna say match d, and we're gonna say that 1 return left, 2 return right, 3 return up, and 4 return down. And we're gonna also set up a reaction to the enemy. Basically, we want the player to be pushed by the enemy when he collides with it. And for that, we need to use the variable that I have set up before. So it's those one. Hold on. Those one. Yeah, we're gonna use those variables. So for that, what we need is to check the damage first. So we're gonna say that the function damage loop, if pushed back is greater than 0, pushed back minus equal 1. And for body in I'm gonna call it push the box. Let's say push the box. Pushed box dot get overlapping bodies. So this is gonna connect with the area 2D of our enemy, this one. Actually I should call it earth box actually. Hold on. I'm gonna call it earth box. Up. Because like I've called this earth box, so it's better to do it this way. Earth box get overlapping bodies. So this is good. If pushed back is minus equal to body dot get damage, no, it's not that. Okay. If pushed back equal 0 and body dot get damage exclamation mark null and body get type elf is minus equal to body dot get damage, push back is equal to 10, and push direction is equal to transform dot origin minus body transform origin. So basically that lines mean that Godot will take the position of our enemy and our player, and it will push it from that direction. That's basically what it means. Okay, so now it should be approximately good. We just need to create here an collision shape. We need to add a collision shape, sorry. So we're gonna go new rectangle shape, and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger than our actual character. So like this, we make sure that it doesn't, our player is not detecting first the normal collision shape. Okay, and now we need to set up some stuff. I have the impression to forget something. What am I forgetting? Push back. Voila. So here I need to create another constant that is called type. And so it's gonna be, this one gonna be enemy. Voila, enemy. Oh god, that's an horrible thought. Okay, that's it. So now normally for this one we should be good. And so what we need to do is that we need to change some stuff in the script of our player. So I'm gonna go back to level test, and I'm gonna go to the script of the player. And basically what we need to do is that we need to add a constant type player. I've already done it, so hold on. So yeah, this is the new one, but this is the main one that you have. So here we need to add a constant. So we're gonna call it constant type. It's gonna be equal to player. Okay. Now we need to create the variable as well, the variable that we have been creating for the enemy. So it's going to be called push direction, and it's going to be equal to vector 2 0 0. Then I need to add var pushed back, and it's going to be equal to 0. Then I need to add var elf, and it's going to be equal to 1. And then in the physics process with the delta, I need to implement the damage loop as well. So I'm going to add it here. Damage loop. And now we need to change some stuff. So we need to, in the movement code, where is it? Here, we need to change some stuff. So what we need to do is var motion. So var motion, if pushed back is equal to 0, motion equal move direction dot normalized, and going to be multiplied by speed. Then else we need to say that motion equal push direction dot normalized parentheses, and it's going to be also multiplied by speed. And then we need to say move and slide is equal to, so it's not equal, parentheses, motion and vector 2. I hope it's everything is clear, because I know it's quite a lot to deal with. Well, forgot this one. Motion equal, yeah, I need to indent it. Normally everything should be good. Okay, and now we just need to create the function damage loop that we have created for our enemy. So we're gonna create it at the bottom, or here I'm gonna call it, yeah, I'm gonna put it at the bottom. Let's say function damage goddamn damage loop. We're gonna say so that if push it back is greater than 0, we need pushed back is minus equal 1 for body in I'm gonna call it a different name. I'm gonna call it push box. Okay, push box 0 and body I'm just getting lost. For body in push box get overlapping bodies. If pushed back is equal to 0 and body dot get damage, null and body dot get type elf minus equal body dot get damage, pushed back gonna be equal to 10, and push direction equal transform dot origin minus body dot transform dot origin. Okay, so this is good. This looks approximately good. Now we need to do one thing. So in the player it's called earthbox as well. I've called it earthbox. Okay, so I'm gonna just change that then. Oh no, so right, I've put it right. Good, perfect. So I know I haven't. Fucking hell. Okay, so earthbox. That's the problem to when you're like doing a lot of tests for some script and stuff like that, you get lost to it. So okay, so this should be good. We already have more than 30 minutes. Damn, that's a long tutorial. So normally everything should be okay. I'm just checking everything. Yeah, I'm just checking that I haven't made any typo. Normally it should be okay. So now we should be able to play the game. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, so now our character is moving, the enemy is moving too, and he disappears. Where he goes? Here it is. And so now you can see I am pushed by him. So that's good. And so that's what we have done today. So for the next episode, what we're gonna see is that how we can create a sword movement that can kill the enemy. We're gonna see how we can upgrade the potential enemy and stuff like that. And I will put a list of all the different type of video I'm gonna do on that series, so just check it out and tell me if there is some stuff that you are more interested at first, and that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it has been useful for you. Don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna make video more regularly. I'm sorry for the wait. I'm sorry because like it's been a month almost since my last tutorial, but as you know, all of you, it has been a pretty crazy month all across the world. So anyway, I'll see you very soon, and so just keep coding. Bye.